So the first character we meet in our story is Peter. Peter is an adventurous young kid. He loves to play outside. He loves to spend time with his friends, the animals who live in the meadow. One bright sunny day, he decides to venture outside the gate in his grandfather's front yard, something he's not really supposed to do, but he does it anyway. Now Peter, in our story, is depicted by the string section of the orchestra. The string family is made up of violins. There are more violins in an orchestra than any other instrument. The violas, which are a little larger than the violin. The cellos, who are a lot larger than the violins or violas. And finally, the granddaddy of the string family, the string bass. Now, to learn a little bit more about the violin and the strings, we have our concertmaster, Sujean Kim. Now, the concertmaster is the leader of the string section in an orchestra, and Sujean's going to tell us about the violin.
Hi, I'm Sujean Kim, and I'm the concertmaster of the Springfield Symphony Orchestra in Springfield, Ohio. I'd like to talk a little bit about the instrument that I play, the violin. There are 6 qualities of the violin that I'd like you to listen and look for the next time you see one being played. The first is that the violin is a stringed instrument. There are 4 strings ranging from low to high. And I can change the pitches of those strings by dropping my fingers at different places along the strings. The second is that the violin is a wooden instrument. From head to toe, the violin is clad in different kinds of wood, and that is what I believe lends a warm and resonant quality to the sound of the violin. Number 3, most of the time, violinists produce sound using a bow. This is the stick, here is the horsehair, and the horsehair is what sits on the strings and rubs them, and creating vibrations that travel through the sound box and into the sound space and then reach our ears. There are other ways of producing sound on the violin too, of course. One of the main other ways is to pluck the string. Number 4 is that the violin is the smallest of the string family. That string family includes viola, cello, and bass. Now, because the violins are the smallest, that means that our strings are going to be the shortest, and therefore the sounds that we make are in the highest part of the range possibility for all of the stringed instruments. So my lowest note is the open G, but my highest note can be up where, and possibly just a little bit higher if I didn't want to risk hurting your ears. Number 5 is that the violin is held under the chin. It is uncomfortable, awkward, and tiring, but that's what we do. And so do viola players. Cellos and bass, of course, are too big to do that, so they sit upright. And number 6, I am often asked, what is that shaking that you do when you're playing in your left hand? That is a technique that string players called vibrato, and that is an extra layer of vibration to add to a note that makes a lustrous and more vocal quality to the sound. For example, here is a note that has no vibrato, and here is a note with vibrato. So you can hear that it is a more beautiful sound with the addition of vibrato. So because violinists can sustain long notes, but also have a wide range of emotions and sounds that we can produce on our instruments, a lot of people say that the violin comes closest to mimicking the sound of singing, which is something that musicians strive for. The sound of the human voice in song coming from deep within is one of the most beautiful. And that is why I believe that Sergei Prokofiev chose the violin to represent Peter in his symphonic tale called Peter and the Wolf. And I will play you now a little excerpt of Peter's theme. Thanks for listening.
It had been a very cold winter, but now the meadow was in full bloom.